A simple ball handling segment that takes 5 minutes that I want you to work on. And the key is that you're competing against yourself. So you're going to take your phone out. I want you to open up the stopwatch. And all you're going to do is place the phone on the floor. You're going to go for 5 minutes. The drill is going to last 30 seconds. And then you're going to rest for 30 seconds. And then you're going to repeat for 5 minutes. So literally, you go 30 seconds. You'll rest. Once the stopwatch hits a minute, you'll go again. You'll go to a minute 30. Then you'll rest for 30 seconds. It hits 2 minutes and so on for 5 minutes. So all I want you to do once you hit start is just simply going continuous through the legs. All right? And every time you go through the legs, you're going to count the number that you get. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shifting your weight back and forth. All right? Remember that number hits, let the clock go 30 seconds. Maybe I get 50 in 30 seconds. Now my goal the next round is to beat 50. And you're going to continue to do this until you can get to a max number that you're having a really difficult time beating. And I know a lot of you are going to be very surprised at home of the number that you get right now from the first day till when you get a month later, 2 months later. The number is going to be much, much higher because you're repping these out. So again, you're going to hit start on the stopwatch and you're going to go continuous through the legs, as many as you can get in 30 seconds. Once it hits 30 seconds, you relax, you wait another 30 seconds, gets to a minute, boom, we're back at it. Continuous through the legs, 5 minutes straight. Once it's 5 minutes, you're relaxing. You're going to get your high score for that day. Remember it, and that score is the score that you want to beat every single time you rep these out. Get to it. What's up, everyone? Right now, we're going to look at some finishing options. We're going to work on 3 different types of finishes. The first one is going to be a same foot, same hand finish. The next one is going to be a veer finish where we're going to bump our defender and then finish. And the third one is going to be where we Euro step and finish opposite. Now, you're going to notice on these finishes, everything has to do with that outside foot. So in a game, if I'm dribbling, I have a dribble and I pick up. This is obviously my outside foot right now. This is where all that action is happening from, where I'm either jumping off my outside foot, I'm bumping off my outside foot, or I'm Euro stepping off my outside foot. To keep the drill super simple, we'll just start around the foul line area, and you're just going to attack. I'm going to get into it through the legs. I have a dribble step with the inside foot. Now I gather, and again, that's where everything's happening from. First one, I'll jump and finish. Second one, I'll actually bump and finish off the inside foot. And then that third one is where I'm going to actually Euro, slow down on that step, and finish opposite. Let's get to it. What's up, everybody? Right now, we are going to work in a very simple segment off the catch. Super simple. Start at the three-point line. Spin the ball to yourself. Everything right now is going to be off a reverse pivot. You're going to reverse pivot, jab, and get into a pull-up. And the second one, you're going to reverse pivot and sweep and get into a pull-up. Now, the only detail that I'll add to this is when you are reverse pivoting, I want you to reverse pivot and have some pop on that pivot foot. Meaning I don't want you to be stagnant here and just reverse pivot. You're going to notice I have some bounce on my pivot foot. So I'm here, I got some bounce on that foot, and that gives me that energy to really get into jabs or sweeps, okay? So you got that bounce. You're either jabbing and going or you're ripping and going. Real easy. Let's get it. What's up, everyone? Right now we're going to take a look at an isolation move off the dribble, but it can also be used in multiple ways throughout the game. For example, a lift can be used just to hesitate and relax and play with some pace, or it can be used to get into an action. So we're going to work on 3 options off this. I'm going to go left hand as a righty. I don't love doing this going the opposite way to get into actual shots themselves. So I'm just going to say left hand, but at home you can obviously work off both hands if you're comfortable with this action. Again, you'll use this in scenarios of bringing the ball off the floor or initiating offenses just to give yourself some pace. But for now, we're just going to work on these actions. So the first one, I'm going to drive it. So you're going to relax, dribble left hand. You're lifting off your inside foot. So I'm going to hop off my inside foot, and now I'm coming back down off that foot. The first one, I'll get into a pull-up. The second rep, after I make that, the second rep, I'm going to lift and then get into a shot off of it. And then the third rep, I'm going to do very similar, lift, and then I'm just going to come back with an exchange, 1, 2. Watch me rep it out. Notice how I'm hesitating here as the ball's at that hip area, and then I'm playing. All right, now in this mid-range shooting segment, we're going to work on 3 different ways to stop. A lot of you should already have this in your game. If you don't, great time to work on it. All we're going to do is start as it whatever way you want, but when we start to attack, the first stop is going to be off a punch, where we're stopping on the ball side foot, we're replacing and shooting. The second one is off of an exchange, so you're going to get 1, 2, and now you're stopping square and exchanging behind the back, replace and shoot. And the third one, real similar, you're 1, 2, and working on that invert where you're stepping back. Now with this one, I want you to actually create some space backwards. So you'll stop here, you'll create some space to come back, then replace and shoot. Okay, so those are the 3 types of stops that you're looking at. And then we'll go the opposite way. So what's up, everyone? Here's our triangle shooting drill. We're going to use the top of the key for an example, but you can really use this at any spot on the floor. You're going to start at the elbows. Now, if you have a passer, great. If you don't have a passer, you're simply going to spin the basketball out to yourself. All right, catch and shoot. So you're going to start from the elbow, popping out to the top of the key, catch and shoot. Then you're going to get into a pull-up. So then you'll catch, rip, right, left, pull-up. You'll relax, and then you're going back up the line. So you're here, your 1, 2 shot, and then your elbow pull-up. So you're essentially alternating between off the dribble pull-ups and off the catch pull-ups. Now, the angle is difficult. This angle from the top of the key going towards the rim is fairly simple. You're just going to be able to get into a 1, 2 shot. But from the elbow, or what we call inside out, meaning you're inside the 3-point line and you're popping outside the 3-point line, is pretty difficult. So really depending on what you're comfortable with, for me, you're probably going to see me go from this position, hop and shoot. But depending on what you're comfortable with, you could go right, left into this shot. It's just a little more difficult for me. So at home, just worry about making it, worry about getting balanced. And if you're really struggling with it, then just think about your footwork a little bit. You could hop, or you could get into that 1, 2.